I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't had to die to meet the devil.
I remember I was only 13 when I met the demon. Gave me a deuce and a bundle of cocaine. Told me to sell to my people, make sure you keep him fiending. If any try to shoot you, make sure that you leave him leaking. He said,
I'ma hold you down when problems pop up.
how you got me moving this dope? Want me in lockup? He said,
Don't you want the Benz vertible with the top cut?
Yeah.
Stop bitching, get in that kitchen, let it rock up. Bitches love the dope boy, especially when it's guap up. I know you know Ron.
who the plug from by the block up?
I'll tell you a little secret, make sure that you keep your mouth shut. Ron got a Lexus, crib in Philly and Texas. Trips to the Bahamas, just got a whip for his mama. He fucking up them commas, be honest, he seem decent though.
I hear you, but I just seen Ron about a week ago. In fact, he ain't looking too good. His knees is kinda slow. I asked him why the struggle. He got stuck up for his bundle, but them 6 hollow tips in his legs what made him crumble.
He got the house and mama is living good.
Said the feds took it all, he right back in the hood. I see you try to play me, you gave us crack in the 80s. Made us abort our babies and making hoes out our ladies. I know you got me gravy, but Satan, you must be crazy. It's gonna take more than them cars when to amaze me. I seen niggas shoot for the stars, but being lazy. Never get their head at the clouds, so you don't faze me.
I guarantee that you gon' regret it, remember I said it.
Nah, you could dead it.
What you saying, I can't win?
Nah, devil, nice try, so until we meet again.
I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't had to die to meet the devil. I ain't religious or superstitious, but we been getting fucked and put to the side like a mistress. Police patrolling why? Because prison became a business. They murder one of ours and they start talking about forgiveness. We think that it's alright because we got public assistance. If this ain't hell, dog, what is this? Where was all lives mattered when they killed Osama? There was no peace talk like the Dalai Lama. Bush dropping bombs saying he gon' bring the drama. They got justice, man, they even caught the Boston bomber. But when we riot, they send the military in armor. When we fight oppression, then our people die a martyr. You reap what you sow, some people call it karma. When Christ return, y'all gon' get this harvest like a farmer. Don't tell me don't bring up the past no more. They still trying to settle the score with a side of Shakur. I changed my life and I'm just trying to live life right. But at night I look behind me and see flashing lights, patting me down. You got nothing that's poking me right. I don't smoke or push pills, I gave up my vice. So Mr. Officer, why you wanna take my life? And your honor, why you gave our homeboy's life? I've been wondering why you shot our homeboy twice. Pussy with a gun screaming out that he got a knife. He came from Habibi's spot, it was chicken and rice. Shit's trife, I'm just giving visuals like Skype. Ask Trayvon, Mike Brown, a Kai Gurley, Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Philando, Alden Sterling, Jaquan McDonald. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't had to die to meet the devil. I ain't had to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. I pray for the demise of the devil. Lord knows I despise every devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil and said, I pray you die, every devil.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
You see, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this boy, your ass need to stop it. Ass you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone be. Boy, your ass need to stop it. Ass you to profit. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you once, won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed it up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know that it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settle. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world and know boy, your ass need to stop it, ass you the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass shit. Oh, I'm with step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no losses, ain't no token when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pass through the fire. Ask you the prophets, that baby so below to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will failure, bitch, I can't afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, ass you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass you the prophets. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
I got you. Let it ride real quick. Look.
See the odds. It's time to Bogart. My God, a real nigga. Cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls to you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times soon. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Offense taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Child become a man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Everest to a mall quad. Telling me how them crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Poke a sock, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas, we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen prophets under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Waldo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Round with Yaradon, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakadam. Yahweh Shema Thumb by Shem Yahushua. Preaching Officer on Mwanga Bar. Tuesday Brotherhood class for ISUPK under Commander Hana. You feel me? What we do is we take. See, man, there I go, man. You better stop me, man. no, I'm just joking. You feel me? Nah, but what we do, we teach the truth about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You feel me? They the chosen people of God. You feel me? The greatest people that ever walked the face of the earth. And tonight, what we're gonna talk about is famine, because famine is not coming. You feel me? Whether people know it or not, famine is not coming. Famine is here. It's here right now. You feel me? And for people that don't know what famine is, famine is shortages. You feel me? Whether it's food, whether it's education, wisdom, whatever. Shortages is right here, right now. Feel me? Right here, right now in our face. You can't do nothing about it. All you got to do is just blame your Christian pastors. Blame the Muslim mosques. Blame everybody that told you everything was going to be okay after the COVID. After COVID lifted, y'all thought everything was going to be all right. And we told y'all that was just the beginning of the Most High's judgment. You feel me? So if I could, let's get into the first article. It's prevalent what's going on where we at right here in Louisville, Kentucky. The JCPS canceled schools. Because I didn't even know that this went viral. They say, if I may, they say the people was taking pictures on the bus. You know, everybody got smartphones. Kids, high school, everybody got a smartphone. So they taking pictures and they got the kids standing up in the aisle. You feel me? Because they mixing the buses. They so short on bus drivers. Yeah, they so short on buses and bus drivers, if I may, that they got the kindergarten kids, first graders on bus with the high school students. I never heard that before in my life. And down here in Kentucky, it's like segregated. They got elementary school, middle school, and high school. You feel me? Where I'm from, it's kindergarten through 8th grade all in one building. And even kindergarten through 8th grade all in one building, we still didn't see kindergartens on the same bus with 8th graders or, high school kids and stuff like that. So it's just shortage. You feel me? Shortage. And that's famine. And that's what JCPS don't understand. Louisville Public Schools, that's the name of it, JCPS. They don't understand that there's shortages because of the Most High Christ is done with this place. I know y'all was ready to get school back going. All the parents wanted babysitters, because that's all parents even send their kids to school for. They just keep it real. Only in the UPK, we send our students to school to learn. Everybody else send their kids to school because they need a babysitter. And that's why it's such an outrage. And like I said, it went viral. I didn't even know that. I just thought it was something we knew. I didn't know it went viral.
That's right. You're e-signing.
I don't know what to do with this feeling.
Yeah, you do.
All hands meeting! Listen up! You've been drowning in paperwork. That ends today!
Good evening to you. I'm Drew Gardner.
And I'm Lauren Adams. JCPS students will not be heading back to class for at least a few more days as the district tries to clean up the busing disaster during the first day back to school.
The district's change in start times led to students being dropped off hours late or at the wrong stop in time.
Oh, yeah. They was getting dropped off at 10 o'clock at night. Now I'm talking about kindergarten kids. Kids in kindergarten and first and second grade getting dropped off to their bus stop at 10 o'clock at night, man. These parents down here was losing their mind. They was losing their mind. That's why they canceled school. And this is an old news article as far as I think this is from last week when they first did it. But what updated information on what's going on in JCPS, they canceled school all this week. Now, this is a news from last week where they said they're going to cancel school Monday and Tuesday. They canceled it the whole week. Whole week is no school because they don't have no bus drivers. They don't have no bus drivers to drive the kids to school.
Entirely. Our Jamie May spoke to frustrated parents who will now have to keep their kids home until at least Wednesday. She joins us live now. And Jamie, what are most...
Say it's updated because it's not Wednesday. They pushed it all the way to next Monday.
Parents telling you?
Drew, Lauren, some parents say they're not looking forward to their kids even getting back on a school bus again after all of the issues their children had on that first day of school. Today, the district announced that they're canceling classes on Monday and Tuesday.
Like, come on, man. That's why I said we live in a fallen kingdom, man. Like, how do you cancel school? It ain't no COVID. It ain't no disease. Y'all don't have bus drivers. That's why I say famine is here, man. You know, bus drivers making some nice money. Don't nobody want to drive them. Don't nobody want to drive the buses, man. Tell me, because this place is falling. And all kingdoms always fall from the inside. Everybody keep thinking Russia. Everybody's so worried about Russia and China and all that. The TikTok, what they were saying, the Chinese people are spying on us through TikTok. No, nigga, you ain't got no buses to send your kids to school. You goddamn idiot.
That decision was made after all of the delays and issues with bus routes after the first day of school. Now, earlier today, several upset parents showed up to a meeting hosted by the school board. Leaders such as Joe Marshall, Diane Porter, Chris Kolb, and James Craig are just a few of the names listed on the agenda. And parents say they were eager to be there and have their voices.
Any black parent that went to this, you don't want America to fall. If you a black parent and you went to this goddamn sit down to talk about the buses, you don't want this country to fall. You feel me? You want everything to just go back to normal, and you want to just worry about your 401k and your stocks and whatever, man. But what you don't understand is these public schools, forget public schools, private schools, whatever, all these elementary schools, high schools in America, they is getting these kids ready to go to jail. It's set up like a prison. I don't know if you ever went to a public school. It's set up like a goddamn prison. The lunches and everything, the lunch trays, the lunch ladies. You hear me? Damn, it's all set up like a goddamn prison, man. The Most High finna send his son back. And all these black people in this room ain't ready. They good old Christians, and they just want everything to be okay, everything to be all right.
Is heard, but they say once they got there, they were not allowed to speak or even get inside.
The parents went there to try to talk about the frustration with the Jefferson County Public School District. They ain't even let them in the door. You know, they let the GDs in the door. It's a lie. That's just a joke. That's just a joke. But I'm just saying, though, man, it's crazy. They ain't even let the parents in the door to talk about the bus driver frustration. And then what's killing me, they had the little kids on there with the damn bus driver. That's the thing that messed me up. They had kindergarten kids on there with high schoolers. That just seemed like a safety issue. Like, I'd rather my kids walk to school than be on the damn bus with some damn motherfucker rolling up weed and they back there shooting dice and feeling on their girlfriend and shit. I don't want my kids around that shit. I'd rather they ass damn walk. Shit.
And at that meeting, the school board said they would not be discussing Wednesday's issues. We spoke to some frustrated parents today about the problems they have faced since the beginning of the...
I read one of the comments. It was a white dude, old white dude. He said, heads need to roll. Hey, that shit is funny as hell. That's why being a priest and prophet, and clap it up for Commander Gianna, because being a priest and prophet of the Lord makes all this stuff null and void. This happened. A lot of you probably didn't even know. You probably like, shit, what? They say, what? Oh well, you feel me? Because we prophesy for this stuff to happen, man, for this kingdom to fall. And it's going to take stuff like this for it to happen, man. But yeah, it was a white dude made a comment on one of the posts about the Jefferson County Public Schools in Louisville, Kentucky, closing for a whole week after they went to school just for one day because of the buses. And he said heads need to start rolling. It made me think about that damn Montgomery shit. It made me think about that Montgomery shit, like real talk. Like these white folks even getting mad. You feel me?
School year.
I've never seen it go this difficult. Like, I've never seen it be this hard. It's always been a super smooth train.
And what she said was what Captain Khan said. That's nuclear. That's nuclear. She said, I never. I haven't lived in Louisville, Kentucky my whole life. So I don't know if this is a problem that happens all the time, every other year. I don't know. But this lady lives here. I think she's a devil. I'm about 99% sure there's a devil. And she say she never seen this happen. You know why? Because of famine. You feel me? Because of famine.
Transition. My kids are always excited to go back to school. Now my kids don't even want to go to school because they're scared they're going to be one of the ones that aren't getting home till 10 o'clock at night.
I'm telling you like this. My son happy that he's, in 5th grade. He want to go to school, and I ain't mad at him for it. I want him to want to go to school. That's good. But the thing about it is, it's like, okay, they finna institutionalize you, and every time you come home, I gotta fucking, you feel me, wash your brain of all the nonsense and let you keep the good stuff like the reading and math and stuff like that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if I may, sir, so like you said, if I may, what you bring it out is so heavy, especially when you talked about how it's set up by the prisons.
Right.
And if I may, I got a quote real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the quote is from a devil named Horace Mann.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's unfamiliar with Horace Mann is the founder of the public school system.
Right.
And he said,
White guy.
Okay. He said jails and prisons are the complement of the school system.
Ooh wee. What they call it, the prison, the prison to school pipeline? Is that how I say it? I don't know if that's how you say it, but just Google it. If you think I'm lying, they answered what the brother just said was heavy. And the reason why I asked was that a devil, because it was an elementary school in Chicago, a famous elementary school called Horace Mann. Mm-hmm. That's why I had to ask that. Mm-hmm. Called Horace Mann. That's so heavy, like real talk. But yeah, though, prison to school pipeline, man. They getting your kids ready to go to prison. It's set up. Everything gonna be comfortable. When they go to county jail, they go to prison. They're gonna be familiar with everything. It's gonna look like back when they was a little kid, when everything was okay. They didn't have to pay bills. You feel me? I'm telling you, man, this shit is evil. Our oppressors is evil as hell. Because when you go to jail, it reminds you of when everything was free. When you got your first kiss, you had your first fight. You feel me? If you in prison, not even knowing, nigga, you is a slave. But you in prison thinking of, like, psychologically, the way everything look, you feel like you is back when you was 12 years old, which is evil as hell, man. But hey, like I said, our oppressors is the devil the Bible speaks of. And they reaping they own, they reaping what they sow, because they going through the same thing. It ain't just black people.
I'm blessed to be able to have my child walk to and from school, but next year he will be in middle school and he will have to bus there if I can't take him. And it's not something I'm looking forward to personally.
Tuesday will be a work day for JCPS staff, and the district says they hope to have students back in school sometime next week. Reporting live, Jamie Mays, WLKY.
She said they hope to have the kids back in school sometime next week. She said they hope. You know why they hope? Because the Most High in Christ is done with this place. That's why they hoping. This place you call America is on its last leg. You feel me? Damn, wait. No, we ain't had to read the article. The video was good enough. We ain't got to read it. Cause it's gonna just talk about what we just all said anyway. So yeah, let's go to death toll. Let's talk about Hawaii. Y'all still think we playing about this famine? Trying to tell y'all, man. Y'all better tune in. If you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you better tune in. You feel me, to the ISUPK classes, man. You better pay your tithes to Commander Hunter, man. It's gonna be prevalent for your survival, man. Y'all think we playing? This is not a joke. This is not a game. You feel me? We're not doing this shit for fun or for likes or for views. We trying to save our goddamn race. We're trying to save our fucking people from dying. Because the Bible say 2/3 shall be saved. We trying to beg the Most High in Christ to save everybody. But the Bible say only 2/3. You feel me? But we try to beg the Most High in Christ that everybody be saved. We want the Most High in Christ to forgive every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian for whatever crime they committed against God, because they didn't know no better. Because our oppressors is the devil and confused them for so long, man. But you go ahead whenever you got it.
Come on, sir. Death toll rises to 89 in Hawaii. making it the deadliest wildfire in modern U.S.
Are you kidding me? This is the hottest month in the history. And then look what else happened. 89 people, you feel me, is dead in Hawaii. Not from gun violence, not from black on black crime, not from crack cocaine, not from whatever they say black people do, because somehow they always try to put this on black people. It's because of God. Because of God, because of the weather. 89 people in Hawaii is dead. I thought Hawaii was a resort. I thought Hawaii was supposed to be fun and immaculate. And then another thing you don't know about Hawaii, I know you think it's full of Hawaiians. It's full of white people. It's a lie. They didn't went. Look at all the people on the news talking about it. Look at all the people in the video talking about what happened in Maui. That's a white guy. That's not a Hawaiian. It's a white guy. They done went and took that damn island over. It's a liar. They done enslaved all the Hawaiians. You don't even see them. You go ahead.
Come on. NBC News, the death toll of Maui wildfires rose to 89, officials say on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
With Hawaii Governor Josh Green.
Josh Green? Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. It's a lock here. Hold on, wait. It's a lock here. It say the Hawaii governor, his name ain't Munbutu of this tribe. You feel me? I don't know too many Hawaiian names because they done went to Hawaii and took it over. I don't even know no Hawaiian names. You think of Hawaii, you're going to think of Josh Green. That's a white guy. I'm going to just keep it real with you. That's not a Hawaiian.
Cautioning that it was likely to continue to grow. The revised number of fatalities is put afire was as devastated the town of Lahaina as the deadliest wildfire in modern U.S. history. Surpassing the 2018 Camp Fire in California that killed 85.
Right, that's just 5 years ago. 5 years ago was the most second deadliest wildfire. You know why? Because we trying to tell you something. Famine is not coming, it's here. It's right here in your face, but you don't want to accept it because you don't want your slave masters to perish. You feel me? You want to be friends with them. You want everything to be okay. You want to have sex with their women. You want to keep taking their drugs. They didn't legalize weed. Oh, they love white people now. Ooh, wait. They didn't legalize that weed. White people, they best friends. They didn't forgot about Emmett Till. They didn't forgot about Rosewood. They didn't forgot about Chicago. They didn't forgot about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Everything's been forgotten over that weed. And that's what the Bible says, gift destroy the heart. You go ahead.
As people wait and hope for news about their loved ones and homes, the community has stepped up efforts to distribute supplies to those who lost everything. In Maui, dozens of volunteers gathered near Malaya Harbor to collect water, gas, and other supplies, some calling out a chant, rallying together. Those gathered to help as they loaded vehicles.
I'll keep doing what you got to do. Keep on keeping on, because the Lord is sending his son back. All this shit gonna be over with. That's all I'm saying.
Maui has Maui right now, and now Oahu is here supporting Maui. Community member Anthony Jensen.
Anthony Jensen. That don't sound like somebody that was from Hawaii. That's what I'm saying. These white folks went and took over Hawaii, and the Lord sent the wildfires right there. Because Hawaii is expensive. Hawaii is real expensive, man. Like real talk.
We're doing this as one big family, one big Ohana. And that's our mission right now, is just to support the people who really need it. Thousands of gallons of water and ready-to-eat meals will be needed each day for displaced residents, in addition to shelter.
They are some of the most terrifying images from the fires. Desperate people rushing into the ocean, the only way to escape the flames.
We're gonna be okay. We're in the ocean.
19-year-old Noah Tompkinson was one of them.
Jerry. Name Noah Tompkinson. That is American. That's as American as it get. You feel me? And that's what I'm saying. Our oppressors, man, it's no way they're going to be able to hide. They can run to Hawaii. They can turn into the Hawaiians. They can turn into the Australians. Our oppressors can run wherever the hell, wherever the fuck they want to run. The Most High is coming for you for what you did to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. What you did to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Most High is coming for you. Go ahead.
So like I said, for me, what you're saying is some $5 Indians ain't gonna be able to hide.
Them $5 Indians talking about they chief Red Horn owning the casino, making $1 billion a year. He coming for your ass too. And them bunkers. That's another thing. Them bunkers. These rich people they gonna hide under them bunkers, man. Look, you gonna be the slaves. While your other people is dead and gone, and they got murdered by Christ and them angels, y'all gonna come out them bunkers and see none but niggas. What they call it, the planet of the apes. And y'all going in the chains. They gonna come out them bunkers thinking they finna rebuild and see nothing but niggas standing there like, hey, what? Yeah, we was looking for y'all. That's where y'all was at underground. All right, well, cool. Come build up this skyscraper.
Along with his 13-year-old brother, Milo.
You're gonna be okay, Milo.
And their mother.
Both sides, to the left and the right, are on fire.
I want to know, where's Lilo and Stitch? Where's Lilo and Stitch at? Like, I don't see Lilo and Stitch. I see nothing but white people in Hawaii.
White smoke starting to come, which means the fire's starting to die out.
Oh, yeah. How did they jump in the water? See, there goes some more white people. Where is Lilo and Stitch at? This is, whatever, man. That's another story. But look, these two white folks, you feel me, had to jump in the water to flee from the fire. The Most High ain't playing no games. You want to join with these people? You a goddamn idiot. Feel me? Shout out to Montgomery Brawl. That's all I'm saying. Shout out Montgomery, Alabama.
Idea to run into the ocean. How did that even happen?
We kind of had it in the back of our mind the whole time that we wanted to be next to the water. If things got really bad, we could, save ourselves by jumping into the ocean, and that is what it came to. If we walked across the street, we would have been in the fire.
And Mila, what were you thinking, man? You're like a little guy. You've seen.
It's almost like.
Bruh, did you see that? That the Lord did that. That ain't no This ain't no man-made stuff. That's the Lord did this. Man, y'all better. All right. And they don't even know why. They think it's just natural disasters. Nigga, you oppressed God's chosen people for 400 years.
We would have been in the fire.
And Mila, what were you thinking, man? You're like a little guy. You've seen.
It's almost like looking up for a watermelon in the ocean.
But by morning slot,
rescuers. The goddamn rescuers, man.
Watermelon in the.
That don't look like Lilo and Stitch. Man, look, man, this is judgment. That's all I'm saying.
Ocean.
But by morning's light.
Look at the people being saved. Where is Lilo and Stitch at? Where is the Johnny Mommy?
It was hugs and answered
Where is
prayers.
Johnny
We had the families
I don't see him.
waiting at the top of the dock.
Point, Mila, where you were kind of scared, when are we going to get rescued?
Yeah, because they're taking a really long time because they couldn't get to us because all the cars were blocked off. So we were kind of just trapped in the ocean.
I didn't think we were going to get rescued. I thought we were going to have to wait till daylight and then swim out more and towards safety.
Despite his fears, Noah kept the family calm.
Should be okay. Don't look at the fire. Don't look. Look this way. This way.
Judgment for what they did to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
It's all right.
They waited there well into the night. The flames burned.
Family flees into the ocean. It's number white people in the water. Y'all done took the Hawaiians' land from them, and now y'all in the water.
Burning on land just beyond them.
Hey,
and when their mother started getting too cold,
there was one point where we kind of all huddled around her and just wanted to keep her warm. We kept
famine is here. That last article, let's go to these foods will be in short supply in 2023.
These foods will be in short supply in 2023. So stock up now or find alternatives.
You don't even know it. That's why it's so much stuff going on. You don't even know that they're letting you know that it's a lot of food. They ain't able to produce as much as they used to. Do you think it's by accident? Do you think it's by accident? You a goddamn fool if you think it's by accident. No, famine is here, right here in your goddamn face. You go ahead.
It was a bad year for food shortages in 2022, with categories including eggs and baby formula.
Mm-hmm.
Get hard. Unfortunately, 2023 could see its own batches of food shortage. Here's what consumers should start stocking up on now before prices roar and products likely become harder to find on store shelves. 1. Corn.
Corn. Hey, look, you sell corn, it's gonna be like selling crack in a minute. That's all I'm saying. But listen to why. Go ahead.
Historically, Ukraine has been one of the world's leading providers of corn. But that's all changed since Russia's invasion.
Since the Russian invasion. What we prophesied, what we told y'all was gonna happen, which is Russia kicking off the Third World War, is also stop corn from being massively produced. Go ahead.
Yes, like I said, I hate to use the term chickens come home to roost, but corn is indigenous to the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
Corn is indigenous to the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did Ukraine become the leading manufacturer of corn?
I don't even know. But like you said, the chickens coming home to roost. This is what y'all ass get. For what y'all did to Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, y'all deserve every bit of what's happening. Man. Ain't nothing, we ain't did nothing. Can't blame this on no black man. Y'all let the Ukrainians come in here and take over the country down there. They ain't even part of the damn what's that shit called? We just did a class, but I can't think of the name of it. NATO. They ain't even part of NATO. They didn't let the Ukrainians come in, but the Mexicans couldn't. You think the Lord didn't notice that? You think the Lord didn't see how you let Ukraine come in mass groups because of Russia was killing them, but you didn't want to let the Mexicans come in and y'all took it from them? You took Texas, you took New Mexico, you took Arizona, you took California, you took Nevada from the Mexicans, but you couldn't let them come in to escape from fucking the mafia. Well, man, the Lord ain't playing, man. Go ahead.
Which has no end in sight. As such, we'll be seeing less corn.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty major issue since corn is an ingredient in so many other American products, including chips,
salad dressing, and soda. So look, if you think this is a fucking game, you think we playing, I don't know who y'all been listening to. Y'all better get out of them Christian churches. We in ISUPK is telling you, all that stuff you used to is about to go the fuck away. You worried about a goddamn bus not taking your kid to school? Well, you ain't gonna have no chips. You ain't gonna have no salad dressing. You ain't gonna have no soda. I know you love drinking pop. I know you got all your favorite pops lined up in the refrigerator. This dinner tonight, we eating this. We drinking this pop. We drinking Mountain Dew tonight. Tomorrow we drinking cream soda. Tomorrow we drinking root beer. Tomorrow we drinking Coca-Cola. You're gonna be drinking tap water in a minute. In a minute, you're gonna be drinking tap water and you're gonna be eating salad without dressing. It's a lie. I'm just keeping it real. That's all I can do is just keep it real. And that's what's coming. That's what's coming, but that's what gotta come. Famine has to come for this kingdom to fall, for our kingdom to rise. Blacks, Hispanics, you go ahead. Bread. Oh, wait. Now, come on, man. Stop it. Bread is a part of 90% of your everyday. And if you ain't an ISUPK under Commander General Hunter, if you ain't in the ISUPK under Commander General Hunter, guess what? Guess what? You don't know how to live without bread, but we do. You know how we know how? Because guess what? The Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Well, we go 7 days every year. We eat 7 days without eating bread. Then we eat flour and water. We eat flour and water. We don't eat bread. That's not bread. That ain't no goddamn bread, man. We got that from our ancestors because when we got kicked out of Egypt, when Egypt fell, we got kicked out. We didn't have time for the yeast to rise. So we just left with water and flour. And why you think the Mexicans now got the best food? You feel me? All their food is made out of bread without fucking yeast. You feel me? You ever ate tacos and burritos, enchiladas and all that? You damn goofy. The hell out of here, man. And what the sisters say so heavy, cereal and water. Remember Craig on Friday? Put some water on it. That's a lie. He said, we ain't got no milk. Well, put some water on it. He tried to throw it away. Pops come in, you better put some water on that shit. Man, I'm telling you, black people, we built for this. We built for famine. But our oppressors not, man. Our oppressors ain't. Real talk. You go ahead.
Flour and wheat shortages are likely on the horizon largely because of the ongoing war in Ukraine.
God damn it. We told you Russia was going to be the end. We told you Russia, Ukraine, that whole conflict was going to be the beginning of the end. And y'all thought we was bullshit. Y'all thought we was crazy. Y'all thought we didn't know the Bible. Y'all thought we were just talking shit. Y'all thought the Bible was fake. But the Bible said Russia and Ukraine was going to be the end. Go ahead.
Russia and Ukraine account for close to 20% of the world's cereal grain production.
You better stop eating Frosted Flakes. Better get rid of it. You better find, man, look, and then you know black people, we so good at what we do. It's going to be a black person come up with his own cereal that don't need that. And ain't going to become a billionaire. And that's just how, and then you're going to look up and then we're going to start taking over. And Christ's going to return and everything going to be how it's supposed to be. Black people on top. You go ahead.
Vegetable oil.
What?
Vegetable oil.
Nah, I got a problem with that now. Oh, wait. Vegetable oil. How we going to fry that chicken? How we going to fry the chicken? We ain't got no vegetable oil. Go ahead.
Several vegetable oils, including canola, sunflower, soybean, and palm oil.
So all the people that got the alternatives, they're like, oh, well, I don't use vegetable oil. I use soy. They say it's done. You better get the air fryers out. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You better thank the Most High Christ for an air fryer because you ain't frying no chicken. You got to boil it or bake it real soon.
Are expected to be in short supply over the next several months.
Good night.
This is due to a few factors, including Indonesia's decision to halt the export of palm oil and continuing droughts around the globe.
Indonesia, they even playing a part in this shit.
Baby formula.
That's been a problem because bitches don't like to breastfeed and because they too busy. I ain't gonna blame it on them 100%. Maybe they just too busy. They got businesses, jobs. So it's not like a sin, but like, damn, that baby formula, bitches gonna have to start breastfeeding because baby formula been a shortage, actually, keep it real, since last year, I think.
Ongoing baby formula shortage is expected to last through the spring of 2023. According to a recent report from Reckitt Wexner, the maker of baby formula giant Enfamil, Reuters reported. The shortage is persisting mainly because of the issues that led to the initial shortage last year, including the pile of recalls and labor shortages. Like with the buses. Ain't got no workers. Y'all thought the baby formula they didn't know how to make it no more. They don't got no workers. And that all started with COVID, with the unemployment. A lot of people ain't want to go back to work after that. Led to such a monumental shot. Champagne.
Oh, shit. Ain't popping no bottle. You ain't got nothing to celebrate. You could drop down from that, but champagne ain't really a big deal. You just ain't got nothing to celebrate anyway. Oh, the canned pet food.
Awesome. Canned pet food. If there was ever a time to start making your own pet food.
Man, look. And all I'm going to say this to all you women out there with all them cats. You ain't going to be able to feed them. They're going to be eating you in a minute. All you women say you don't need a man. You got cats. You got your dog. You got all that. Man, them motherfuckers going to be eating you in a minute. Because the pet food is going out of stock. That's all I'm saying. But if I may, we done with that. Now let's do what we do. Let's get into the scriptures. Let's go to Job. Let's start in Job 5:19, if I may.
Book of Job, chapter 5, verse 19.
Now, and what you don't know about Job, Job is pre-Israel. You feel me? That's the time of Job was before the Israelites. You feel me? You go ahead.
Verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles.
Oh yeah, 6 troubles. That's 6 different famines, just war, all type of different stuff that's going on. You go ahead.
Somebody said, did we just read 6?
I say into somebody's class. Tune in every man. Look, we did just read 6 famines that's serious. Now, I'm not saying the book of Job is talking about that article we read, but it's real funny how we just read 6 troubles. That's what the Bible's saying. Go ahead.
Yea, in 7, there shall be no evil touch them.
And look, with all that's going on, with all these famines, all the stuff that's going on, it ain't gonna touch black people because we built for this. We wired for this stuff. They didn't force us to go through this stuff forever. And we thought them saying we don't need pain pills, we don't need this, we don't need that, we can survive without it. We thought that it was so wrong for them to do that. And it was. But guess what? The Lord was preparing us for these troubles. We didn't know what the hell the Lord was doing. We didn't know why the Lord put the spirit on the so-called white man to make us suffer so bad. That's because it's finna get bad for him. But for us, we're going to look at it like it's a regular day. And that's why the Bible says in 7, there shall no evil touch thee. Oh, wait, we're going all the way to 26.
Verse 20. In famine, he shall redeem thee from death.
And famine, he shall redeem thee from death. Them curses that we've been going through, all the evil stuff that's been happening to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Most High say famine, he going to redeem us. He going to use famine. You feel me? You don't need to go get a gun. You don't need to do like the Black Panthers did and get guns and do the NFAC, march up and down the street with a gun, and you don't even know how to use it. Now you're shooting your person next to you. You don't need to do none of that stuff. The Most High say he's going to use famine to redeem thee from death. All the stuff that happened, all the police murders, all the lynchings, the Lord say he's going to use famine. He's going to have them jumping in a river. He's going to have them jumping in a river from the wildfire. You feel me? He's going to have them going crazy because the buses, they don't got workers, man. Go ahead.
And in war from the power of the sword.
And in war, Russia and Ukraine. Ain't that what we just read? That's what kicked off the famine. Russia and Ukraine kicked off why it ain't going to be no corn, why it ain't going to be no bread. Come on, man. Go ahead.
Verse 21. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue.
And that's a whip. All the bad names you've been called, you nigger, you wetback, you ain't nothing, you deadbeat dad. You're going to be hid from that because of the famine, because of the destruction to this place. They ain't going to be doing that no more. All the bywords you was called, it's going to be non-existent.
Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it comes.
And ISUPK the Commander, we ain't afraid of destruction. We embrace it. We embracing the destruction. We begging for more shortages. Put out more shortages. Do like you did with the COVID. Empty all the shelves. We'll be fine.
Verse 22. At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh.
Ain't that what we doing now? Ain't we laughing? We laughing at the wildfires. We laughing at the bus company can't hire a bus driver, and they supposed to be making almost $30 an hour. We laughing that they ain't gonna be able to make no cereal. We laughing because we know that this is the end of our destruction. This famine that we see is the end of our destruction. That's why we laugh at it. While y'all scared, all the white people, I don't know what my son's gonna do. I don't know when my son, my dad's gonna get to school. He's gonna have to catch the bus. Man, we laughing at the shit. We don't give a damn. Send us the laptops like they did with the COVID. Send us the laptops. Do the shit virtual. We don't give a damn. We sick of being oppressed in this place, man. And y'all deserve whatever the hell happens.
Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts in the earth.
Either the beasts of the earth. Now, we know that's synonymous with the heathen nations. You feel me? We've been scared of the so-called white man and all the other beasts of the earth, the Africans, the Chinese, because we need them for stuff. But guess what? They're going to need us. And that's why we ain't going to be afraid of them no more.
Verse 23. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace.
And guess what's going to happen? They're going to be kissing your feet. The beasts of the field gonna be kissing your goddamn feet because they know that what's happening is because of what they did to black people. Subconsciously, every white person is gonna know that all this stuff that's happening maybe because of slavery. No, maybe because of the Trail of Tears. Maybe because of what we did when we killed all the Mexicans so we can get in Mexico.
Verse 24, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace.
That's your resting place. You hear me? The tabernacle, like the building where you congregate at, is going to be in peace.
And thou shalt visit thy habitation and shalt not sin.
And that shall not sin. You ain't going to want to sin because you're going to see what the Most High is capable of. You're going to be scared to sin.
Verse 25, thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great.
Right. It's talking about our children. Our seed shall be great. You feel me? Once we start back serving the Most High, we ain't going to be in fear. None of this stuff, and our seed shall be great.
And thine offspring as the grass of the earth.
Right. And you know the grass of the earth is everlasting. You can just look. If you ride through a countryside, grass is beyond the eyes can see. And that's how our children's going to be. You feel me? Just like the grass of the earth.
Verse 26. Thou shalt come to thy grave in a full age.
Right. And that's like you just being old. You feel me? And you see all your grandkids around, your great grandkids. That's when you're going to go to the grave. It ain't going to be when you're 18 because of the Bloods and the Crips. It ain't going to be because of diabetes when you're 35. It ain't going to be none of the bullshit we've been going through. You're going to go to the grave in full age when you was ready to leave, not before you was ready to leave.
Like as a shock of corn cometh in the season.
Right, how a shock of corn. If you ever know how corn grows, you feel me? It start off like it's nothing, then it just poof, it's there. An ear of corn, big as hell. You feel me? So yeah, we could drop that. And it's funny they say corn because they say it's gonna be a shortage. Say it's gonna be a shortage of corn, but the Bible say you're gonna go to your grave like corn. You feel me? Like have corn coming in the season. But yeah, so we could drop that. Let's go to Genesis 41 and 25.
Book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 25. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God has shown what he is about to do.
Right, and just a backdrop of what's going on. Okay, the original 12 tribes of Israel, I'm talking about the sons, the 12 sons, they sold their brother Joseph into slavery to the Arabs. You feel me? They conspired to kill him. One of the brothers said, no, let's not kill him. We're going to sell him. They sold him to the Arabs. Ishmaelites in the Bible is their biblical name, but today would be the Arabs. They sold him to the Arabs, and the Arabs sold him to an Egyptian guard. And the guard put Joseph in jail. Joseph was interpreting dreams, and Pharaoh had a dream that he cannot interpret that was just vexing his spirit, and he needed the answer, and he got Joseph, and Joseph basically is doing it right now. That's what it's led up to.
Verse 26.
We're going all the way to 44.
Verse 26. The 7 good kind are 7 years.
Right. So he's telling them about his dream. He's interpreting it saying the good kind is 7 years. Go ahead.
And the 7 good years are 7 years.
So this is a 14-year period.
The dream is one. Verse 27. And the 7th then, an ill favor kind that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine.
Right. So he's telling them about his dream because the dream, he didn't repeated it over and over. Nobody could tell him what it is. He got all his fortune tellers and all the stuff in Egypt, just like they got in America. And shit, nobody can interpret it. And he say, man, that's 7 years of famine. 7 years of famine. That means shortages. That means people gonna die. Because famine has happened over and over. Over and over, famine has happened. Just like we read in the book of Job, that the Lord say he's going to bring famine for our mercy. You feel me? For the mercy he got on us, he's going to bring famine to destroy these other nations, just like he did with Egypt. He was bringing famine on Egypt, man.
Verse 28. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh.
And Egypt, modern day Egypt right now is America. You could just look at a dollar bill. It's like, I ain't got no dollar on me. I ain't got my wallet on me. But yeah, though, if I had a dollar, I would show you. If you just look at the back of it, it got pyramids. Look at the Washington Monument. You feel me? Look at the Washington Monument. Look in Vegas. They got fake pyramids in Vegas. We're living in modern day Egypt, man. George Washington and them, feel me? They was Masons. You feel me? They was Masons. Feel me? They wanted to rebuild Egypt, man.
What God is about to do, he showed unto Pharaoh.
And Pharaoh, modern day right now, is the president of the United States.
Verse 29. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt.
Mm-hmm. So you say first it's gonna be 7 years of everything gonna be straight. And basically what he's telling them is that's when you need to start harvesting and saving. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And there shall rise after them 7 years of famine.
Right, and then after that 7 years, so don't be playing. So what he's telling them is don't be playing around with the 7 years of plenty and just thinking it's not gonna ever stop, because it will. Just like America didn't understand that all that plenty they was getting eventually might stop. They never looked at that. They never looked at all the abortions they was doing to blacks, Hispanics, the plot to kill us, the war on drugs. They never looked at that because they was just so much plenty. They never thought about the famine that was coming. It never crossed their mind. And thank God the Lord didn't raise up a Joseph right now to try to make America. No, you need to start saving and do this and that. Nah, this shit is over. Go ahead.
And all the plenty shall be forgotten.
Right. And all the plenty, all the stuff y'all was having, the cars, money, cars, clothes, hoes, all the prostitution, they were $1 billion a lot. It's a lot here, man. But no, I'm saying all the prostitution in Vegas, they making $1 billion a year, the back page, all that stuff, where they making all this money, man. All these backdoor scams, all this Wall Street scams they got. They never thought that famine was coming. It never crossed their mind. You go ahead.
And famine shall consume the land.
And famine gonna consume because all the plenty, you played with it. You didn't want to give back to the poor or none of that. You fed the rich, and now famine is coming. Go ahead.
Verse 31. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following.
Right, and then the famine gonna be so bad. This is Joseph. This is a vision. This is a vision. You feel me? Joseph reading his dreams and telling them what's happening. In his mind, he's listening to the dream. In his mind, he got visions from the Lord because he had a gift. He had a gift to interpret dreams. So he listening to the dream, and he getting visions. He's seeing how all that plenty, they forgot about that because of the famine was that bad. Go ahead.
Verse 31. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following. For it shall be very grievous.
Right, it'll be very grievous.
Verse
which is evil. Which is evil.
And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice.
Mm-hmm.
It is because this thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass.
Right, so God kept making Pharaoh have his dream, so he can know that his kingdom is about to perish. You feel me? And Joseph was going to be glorified for saving it. You feel me? So he can save Israel. Because Israel, the whole land was going to suffer this famine. It wasn't just Egypt. The whole land, everything around Egypt, all that was going to suffer. But the Israelites, chosen people of God, had to be saved.
Verse 33. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out, a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt.
Right. So he wanted to set him over Egypt because he was so wise.
Verse 34. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the fifth part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years.
Right. So Joseph, like I say, the ISUPK is biblical. The same way Joseph set up officers over the land, even we set up officers over the land to get people ready for famine.
Verse 35, and let them gather all the food of those good years to come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the
that corn, a motherfucker. Salakia, excuse my language. That corn ain't nothing nice, you feel me? But yeah, though, that he's telling them in the plenty years, we ain't gonna play. I don't know if you heard about the story about the grasshopper and the ant. The ant working, the grasshopper playing, and then when it came time for the winter, the ant had abundant of food, and the grasshopper had nothing. And that's basically what they was doing.
Verse 36, and that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not throughout the famine.
Right. So basically, he's saying we're gonna save all this food in the plenty years so we can suffer these 7 years. In these 7 years, we can suffer it, get over it, and we'll prosper. It'll be like nothing never happened. So Joseph basically saved Egypt. You hear me?
Verse 37, and the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. Verse 38, and Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is a man whom the Spirit of God is?
Right. So they knew God was with him. You feel me? They knew from what he said, from that prophecy, from reading that dream, he knew, the Pharaoh of Egypt knew that Joseph was a man of God. And God was with him, and they gods was nothing. The gods of Egypt is nothing. Joseph saved Egypt. Joseph was what today would be called a Puerto Rican. A Puerto Rican saved Egypt. One of the most famous kingdoms in history was saved by a Puerto Rican. Our brothers.
Verse 39, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God has showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art.
He said, I ain't never met a nigga like you. That's basically what the Egyptian African is saying. If you want to know what the Egyptians look like right now, Google South Sudan. The people that live in South Sudan is the descendants of the Egyptians that ruled that kingdom at that time. And they looked at a Puerto Rican and said, I ain't never met a nigga as smart as you. Your ass is crazy, nigga. You know all kind of stuff we didn't know, that our fortune tellers and wizards and warlocks didn't know. You damn is that nigga. And they made him over all Egypt. Matter of fact, I think he's gonna break that down. Go ahead.
Verse 40, thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled.
Right. He said he should be over my house. He's talking about his family. You know, the Pharaoh is like royalty. It's like the president. Ivanka Trump and all them. Ivana Trump and the Donald Trump Jr., all that. President Biden and his son that like to have sex with women and call them the West Coast Connect. Salaki, you probably had to watch the class a couple weeks ago to get that. But President Biden's son got caught having sex with a prostitute from the West Coast. He called her the West Coast Connect to make everybody think it was some type of business deal the whole time. It was a porn, whore, prostitute addiction that he had. But that's a whole nother story. We talked about that a minute ago.
Only in the throne will I be greater than you.
Right. So he's saying you basically the vice president. He's telling Joseph, because of what you did and how you about to save Egypt, you the vice president. I'm the president, vice president. And you over my house. So if they need some counsel, you over them. You hear me? Shit, I'm over you, but shit, you over them. And I can just get to decide if you wrong or right, basically.
Verse 41, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt.
Right, a Puerto Rican. He said a Puerto Rican over the land of Egypt. You ain't know that. You out there, you Egyptologists out there on the corner trying to battle. You ain't know that the African said a Puerto Rican. What you talking about? A so-called Puerto Rican. He's from the tribe of Ephraim, but Joseph is the progenitor of the tribe of Ephraim and Manasseh, which is the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans today.
Verse 42. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand.
Right, and that's synonymous with what I got on right now. I got on a ring. It has on the shield of David, Magundawadah. And that's what Pharaoh did. He took his ring off and gave it to Joseph so he can seal letters. You feel me? And the letters from that's going to the other kingdoms can know it comes from the Pharaoh, even though Joseph is the one stamping it because he's the second in command, so he get to make decisions. Go ahead.
And arrayed him in vestures of fine linen and put a gold chain about his neck.
Right, put a gold chain on his neck. You know, black people love rocking gold chains. Ooh wee. You feel me? They love rocking a gold chain. So he put a gold chain on his neck to signify that, man, look, he is an authority figure. When people seen a Pharaoh putting a chain on a Hebrew's neck, they knew to respect him because otherwise they wouldn't have.
Verse 43. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, bowed the knee, and made him ruler over all the land of Egypt.
Right. So Joseph was the second, like I say, he was the second in command. He ruled Egypt only under Pharaoh because of the dream, how he saved Egypt. Joseph saved Egypt. A Puerto Rican, a so-called Puerto Rican today, saved Egypt from famine. But the only thing is, today, we ain't saving them this time. He had to save Egypt because he had to save his brothers. His brothers sold him into slavery, but they still was handpicked by God to rule the planet. So even though them niggas was wicked, the Most High remembered his covenant. So he saved Egypt so Joseph can save his brothers. Because after this, his brothers and them came, and he brought them into Egypt. And we're going to talk about that in a second. You go ahead.
Verse 44. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt.
Right. So yeah, he was, like I said, he was a second in command. Nobody could tell him nothing. So yeah, let's go to Exodus 1 and 8.
Come. The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
So after all that, Joseph this, Joseph that, Joseph, a new Egyptian king, after time went on, he said he knew not Joseph, which means he didn't remember or care about Joseph saving Egypt. He didn't care about none of that because Joseph wasn't his people.
Verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
And that's the whole point. And that's why we're not saving this place. Because if we do save it, they're going to do like they did all the time. And they're going to say, behold, look at these African Americans. Look at these Mexicans. They're more and mightier than we. They're the reason why the country is even lit. What they say, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. It was a black man that went and made it work. Said a white person invented the internet. It was a black person that made it work. Matter of fact, it was a black person that invented the folding chair. It's like it, but that's another story. But at the end of the day, let's say we do try to help save America from famine or whatever. They're gonna do like they always did. It's gonna be a king rise up years later and gonna say, behold, the children of Israel are more mighty than we. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
Let's deal wisely with them. We got to come up with systematic ways of oppression. I know they saved Egypt. They saved America. Because Egypt and America is the one and the same. America is spiritually Egypt. So let's say we do try to save America. It's going to be a king rise up. And he's going to deal wisely with our children's children. He's gonna forget about all the stuff we done to help save America, and they're gonna come up with systematic ways of oppression. Go ahead.
Lest they multiply, and it comes to pass that when there falleth out any war, they also join unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
So basically, the same way we came up with all these inventions that made America great, they want to put systematic ways of oppression on us so we don't leave and make Russia great or Africa. They keep saying go back to Africa. Why the hell they ain't let us go yet? Because guess what? It's gonna be like Wakanda. Salakia. Salakia. I'm not into that. I'm just saying the movie Wakanda, it was an African nation that was like above the whole planet. And that's why they don't want to send us back to Africa, because they know if we leave and join Africa, Africa gonna be better than America. So they don't want us to leave. They want us in slavery.
Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
Right, put over supervisors, managers, yard managers to afflict us, to make our job harder, to make us work so much that we don't think about getting free. We just think about surviving for right now. Go ahead.
Python and Ramses.
Right, treasure cities: Chicago, New York, LA, Houston, Philadelphia, Miami. We built treasure cities. You feel me? The so-called Hispanics built these skyscrapers. You ain't even know it. You ain't even know it. You know why? Because you're too busy off ecstasy. You're too busy how weed. And that's why they say let's deal with them wisely. Then they just make weed legal. The whole time they lacing it with fentanyl. You dummy. You idiot. But you ain't even know it. Go ahead.
Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied.
And that's the problem, though. The more they put pain on us, the more we grow. Because one thing a poor man can do and a poor woman can do, no matter what, and that's have sex. It's a lot. It's a lot, yeah. It's a lot. I don't give a fuck how much you oppress anybody. They gonna have them some sex. And guess what happened from sex? Babies. So the more they afflicted them, the more they grew.
And they will grieve because of the children of Israel.
Because they just get it, it's nothing they can. Just like right now in America, it's 500,000 abortions a year, and we still overpopulating. We still overpopulating to where when you walk in a Walmart, a white lady look at you crazy, like, damn, I thought you guys were only in the movies. No, we're here in this small town, Jason Aldean. In this small town, we are here because we are prospering.
Verse 13, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
They're just trying to make them just work so bad, just like in America, they're trying to make us work so bad that we don't even think about escaping. You go ahead.
Verse 14, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and all matter of service in the field.
In the field. What that sound like? Cotton field. But guess what? We invented the cotton gin. So now we ain't got to work in the field. That's what I said, man. This is what we do. Black people is this shit. You the same slaves that was in slavery in Egypt. And you in slavery all over again. Man. Go ahead.
All their service when they made them serve was with rigor.
That's just pain and suffering. So yeah, let's drop that. Let's go to let's go to Exodus 6, 4 through 7.
Book of Exodus, chapter 6, verse 4. And I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan.
Now let's talk about the children of Israel, which is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So the Most High never forgot about us. That's how we ended up in Egypt. Because Joseph, you feel me, had to save Egypt to save the Israelites. Because if Egypt would have failed, we would have died from hunger. Because Egypt was just like America is right now. You feel me?
and the land of their pilgrimage were in them strangers.
Strange. Well, right. Our own land was ruled by the Canaanites, which is the so-called South Africans today, if I'm not mistaken. The South Africans is Canaan. All the people that live in South Africa right now, them Africans down there, they the Canaanites. And they lived in our land, which is the Middle East. You feel me? And we were strangers there.
Verse 5, and I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage.
Right, groaning, our pain. The Lord hear our pain. He said, I also heard the groaning of the children of Israel. The Lord remembered Emmett Till. He heard Emmett Till blood crying from the ground. When that goddamn white lady said, he didn't do none of that. I don't know if y'all know it. They say Emmett Till was, he just whistled at a white girl. No, that's not what she said in court. She said he grabbed her, bent her over, told her he'd been with a white girl before. You like this, you like that. They didn't say that. They don't say that for her image. But that's what she said in court, and it's on court record. Just Google it. Oh, you think of Emmett Till, he just whistled at a white girl. No, that's not what he did. He actually did nothing. But she said he did all type of molesting, grabbing her, groping her. Man, he ain't did none of that. And the Most High hears Emmett Till blood crying from the ground. He did not forget Emmett Till. You forgot in Mississippi. In Mississippi, you forgot. Matter of fact, shout out Tyler Doc. You hear me? Shout out him, man. He's the camp leader of Mississippi. Shout out him. He's raising it up. While you forgot, he didn't forget the camp leader of Mississippi, and ISUPK did not forget.
And I have remembered my covenant.
He remembered the covenant. The Most High didn't forget. Even though we forgot, we don't even know who the hell we are. We in America saying we African American. We calling ourselves African American. And guess what happened? The Most High say, I have remembered my covenant. So all these famines that's coming right now in Louisville, Kentucky, we dealing with bus shortages. Our kids can't go to school right now. In Hawaii, they dealing with wildfires. In a minute, you ain't gonna have no chips. You ain't gonna have no corn. You ain't gonna have no bread. You feel me? In a minute, it's finna get bad. And that's because the Most High hear the groaning of the children of Israel while you sitting in a Christian church and in a Muslim mosque thinking you serving God. He about to destroy this place because they pacifying you. They making you forget the groaning while the Most High is hearing it. Go ahead.
Come, sir. Verse 6. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians.
And you know who the Egyptians right now? We in spiritual Egypt right now, America. They tried to rebuild it. George Washington and them tried to rebuild Egypt. They had to go get the slaves that Egypt had. They knew who we was. They knew who the fuck we was. That's why Christopher Columbus brought Hebrew translators with him, because they knew who we was. They had to come get them same people that was in slavery in Egypt so they can rebuild Egypt again in America. Go ahead.
And I will rid you out of their bondage.
And this is how it's going to happen. Famine. Famine is how we're going to get out of bondage, which is slavery. Bondage is slavery. We're in slavery still right now. But because they enslave their own people with us, it makes you forget that you're in slavery because you go to work and you got a white coworker. So you think like, oh, I'm not enslaved. No, you are. It's just a more sophisticated slavery.
And I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgment.
And the Most High say, I'm going to repay you for that bondage you under in America with great judgments, which is famine, which is shortages.
Verse 7. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God.
Right. And this is you feel me, the Most High basically saying, I'm gonna be your God and y'all gonna be my people. You feel me? Not everybody, not the whole world, not the whole planet, Salakia. But y'all gonna be my people, and I'm gonna be y'all God.
And ye shall know that I am the Lord your God, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians.
Right, bring you out of the burdens under the Egyptians, under the Americans. With all the famine and destruction that's coming, you gonna know God is trying to free you. So let's drop that. Let's go to Psalms 37 and 18.
Come. The book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 18. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever.
Right, the upright. That's talking about the children of Israel. Because all the sinning and stuff we doing, it's just because we learning it from our slave master. We learning it from him. We didn't know none of this stuff. We didn't know how to cook crack. Ronald Reagan taught us how to cook crack. You hear me? Ronald Reagan taught us how to cook crack, man. We didn't know none of this stuff. Go ahead. We're going all the way to 22.
Verse 18. The Lord knoweth the days, like verse 19. They should not be ashamed in the evil time. And in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied.
Who?
In the days of famine, they shall be satisfied.
Man, look, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, famine is a curse for the white man, not us. We don't rule this planet. We don't control what goes on the shelves. They shall not be ashamed in evil time. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, don't be ashamed that you ain't got no formula. You ain't got no corn. You ain't no bread. You ain't no water. Don't be ashamed. This is the white man's judgment for what he done for slavery, for oppression, for 400 years, for the civil rights, for Jim Crow, for the war on drugs, for the abortion clinics in every black neighborhood. This is his judgment. Don't be ashamed. And in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. Be satisfied that the Lord is against your enemy in his kingdom.
Verse 20. But the wicked shall perish.
The wicked shall perish. You hear me? You serving the Most High? All this is for your enemies, man. This ain't got nothing to do with you.
And the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs.
Right, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs, man. You feel me? They're going to be eating. You feel me? They're going to be eating up for what they done. They're going to be destroyed.
They shall consume. Into the smoke they shall consume away.
And they're going to consume away like a barbecue. They're going to consume away the enemies of the Lord, which is the heathen nations. You go ahead.
Verse 21. The wicked borroweth and payeth not again.
And the wicked borrow and payeth not again. America in debt to China. America is in debt to everybody because they borrow and they ain't paying it back. They've been in a financial war with China since I was a kid. I've been hearing about the financial war they in with China. You feel me? Because they borrow and they don't pay it back. The Jewish man, the white Jewish man, borrow and he don't pay it back.
But the righteousness showeth mercy and giveth.
But the righteous show mercy and giveth. We paying taxes, buku taxes. They take so much taxes out of my check, I almost be wanting to faint. Because the righteous show mercy and giveth. But the wicked, they don't pay taxes. Donald Trump always brag about how he don't pay taxes. Elon Musk don't pay taxes. The dude that on Amazon don't pay taxes. But the righteous do. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians working for crumbs pay taxes. And the wicked is borrowing, and they borrowing loans and don't even pay it back. That's what the PPP loans was for the rich people. Black people just took it and just tried to get over because they just so poor.
Verse 22. For as such as be blessed in him shall inherit the earth.
Right. We're going to inherit the earth. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, the poor, the ones at the bottom, we the ones going to inherit the earth. We're going to be the ones ruling.
And they that be cursed of him shall be cut off.
They're going to be cut off. All these heathens going to be cut off. All these Christians, these black Christians, These black leaders gonna be at the bottom of society. So yeah, let's drop that. Let's go to let's go to Luke 19, Luke 12 and 29.
The book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 29. And seek not ye what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, neither be ye doubtful of mind.
Right. Don't worry about the famine. Don't worry about the shortages. That's not our problem. That's their problem. We always dealt with shortages when it was none. Black, Hispanics, Native Indians, we dealt with shortages when there was none. They told us we can't get food stamps. We can't get assistance. The whole time they giving it to the Jewish man. They giving it to the Arabs. They giving it to Ukraine. So don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Verse 30. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after.
Mm-hmm.
And your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things.
Right. So all these heathens seek after this stuff. You feel me? And that's why famine is going to redeem us out of the hell, out of slavery, out of all the wicked stuff we've been going through. Famine is going to redeem us because the nations seek after corn, bread, water, medicine, and we can't even get it. We're going all the way to 34.
Verse 31. But rather seek ye the kingdom.
Don't worry about that stuff. Seek out the kingdom of God, that everlasting kingdom. This Christ talk, everlasting kingdom.
And all these things shall be added unto you.
And all the stuff that they seeking after, we gonna get.
Verse 32. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom.
Right, little flock. Man, we went into Egypt, we was 70 deep. We left out, we was 400,000. We the little flock, man. All these nations was growing and building, and we was coming up as the underdog. And our Father say it's good pleasure to give us the kingdom.
Verse 33. Sell that ye have and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, no moth corrupted.
Right, and that's just talking about the spirit of the Most High, the laws and commandments. Take hold of that. A thief can't steal that, and moth don't corrupt that. Moth corrupt on money. You got money piled up, it can corrupt. It can get what's it called? Mold and get destroyed. Your diamonds, your gold, all that stuff. A thief will come in and steal it, but they can't come steal the truth, which is blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians is going to rule the kingdom.
Verse 34. For where your treasure is, there your heart be also.
Right. Don't invest your heart in America, man. Invest your heart in the Most High in Christ's kingdom that's coming, that's going to rule forever. Don't invest your heart, you feel me, your mind into helping America grow. Fuck America. We worry about the kingdom of Israel that's going to rule the planet. So you could drop that. Let's go to Revelation 6 and 1.
Come. The book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it was a noise of thunder, and one of the four beasts saying, come and see.
That's a lie. I was in the wrong one. Right, yeah. So the seal being open is just different acts that's gonna happen into the earth. You feel me? And the Lamb is talking about Christ. And he opened seals, and when he opened it was thunder, loud noise. You feel me? Going into the earth, man. You feel me? I don't know what y'all learned in the Christian church, because I didn't grow up in the Christian church, but this Bible is about warfare. It sounded like thunder. It didn't sound like people, peace and happiness and all that. So if I could, let's go to verse 7 and 8.
Verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal.
Right. So it was a bunch of seals open. Now we get to the fourth one. Go ahead.
And I heard a voice from the fourth beast say, "Come and see."
And it's a beast, because guess what? It was beasts that sit around the Most High in Christ. Y'all don't know how them angels look. Y'all think the angels look like little white babies. When the Bible say it was a beast, because that's how they look. They look like the angels looked at like beasts. They were scary. Go ahead.
Verse 8, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse.
A pale horse. You hear me?
And his name that sat on him was Death.
And when you think pale, don't think of like white or like beige. It looked at sick, because this was a spirit that was running through the earth at the time, and it looked at sick because it was death. Go ahead.
And hell followed with him.
And the condition of hell followed him. You hear me? And that's what gotta happen to this place, man. That's John the Revelator seeing this in a vision. He's seeing a white man's kingdom, you feel me, be destroyed with famine.
And the power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword and with hunger.
And with hunger, that's famine. You feel me? These kingdoms is gonna be destroyed with famine, with shortages. Go ahead.
And with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
Right. So you could drop that. Let's go to let's go to James 5:1.
Come. The book of James, chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your misery.
Right. It ain't, the money ain't gonna save you. When them famines come, the money ain't gonna save you. Go ahead.
For your miseries that shall come upon you.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. Your riches are corrupted,
and
your garments are moth-eaten.
They say the American dollar is crushed. They say they giving away all kind of money, selling all kind of stuff. You feel me?
Verse 3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you.
Mm-hmm. And the rust shall be a witness against you. Gonna show you, like I say, the American dollar is gone. You feel me? It's over with. They spending money on all kind of stuff. So when the new dollar come in, which is gonna be gold or whatever, they can invest in that. They can have something to bargain with.
And shall eat your flesh as it were fire.
Mm-hmm. And you shall eat your flesh. You're gonna be destroyed.
Yeah, keep treasure together for the last days.
Man, look, it's over with. All that money y'all been saving, all the stuff y'all been doing, it ain't gonna last. It ain't gonna last, man. All them treasures and stuff y'all think gonna make y'all prosper. No, the American dollar is going away. It's gonna be destroyed.
Verse 4. The hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud.
Right, you kept back by fraud. You feel me? All these people y'all got working for y'all for pennies, that's fraud. Salakia. And they say, what you kept back by fraud. All these people y'all got working on y'all jobs, y'all businesses, y'all taking all that taxes out they check. Y'all what they give them 30-cent raise a year. All that stuff is fraud. That's what the Bible is saying. That stuff is fraud, man.
And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord.
Right. And not being able to basically all the money you making getting took by Uncle Sam, you feel me, getting spent on BS, saying, oh, we had to take taxes for this, we had to take taxes for that, got you crying. You crying real tears. While they taking the money straight out your check, you crying real tears, man. Go ahead.
Verse.
No, start again. And the cries of them.
And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of the Sabbath.
Right, and it's Sabaoth. You feel me? Which Sabaoth in the Greek translation translate into armies, which is the Lord of armies, the Lord of hosts, which is God. So God is hearing the cries of people that can't pay their bills because all these taxes coming out your check. You feel me? All these taxes is coming out your check. The Lord is hearing that, man. Like real talk. So yeah, you can we're going all the way to 6.
Verse 5. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter.
Hold on, wait, lock it. It say you have lived in pleasure on earth. You rich people, you have lived in pleasure. And that's even talking about black people too. You live in pleasure and been wanton. You feel me? You have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter, man. You feel me? All you people that's living in pleasure, you're going to be at the bottom, including black people. Including all the Christian pastors, all the politicians, you're going to be at the bottom of society, man.
Verse 6. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he does not resist.
Right, just like Christ. They killed Christ. You feel me? They killed the just. People that ain't did nothing wrong. And you not resist. You have condemned and killed the just, and you do of not resist. You don't even resist. You keep killing black people. We just talked about on the podcast a couple weeks ago. They killed not killed. They police beat up a black dude for nothing. He was homeless. Stumped him in his face and everything. I'm like, damn, he homeless. But you have condemned and killed the just and have do of not resist. So yeah, let's go to Ecclesiastes 5 and 10.
Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 10. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver.
Right, you love a silver, you're not gonna be satisfied with silver. You know why? Because you're just gonna keep wanting more. You're gonna keep wanting more and more. It's not gonna never stop. It's not gonna ever stop. You're gonna always, it's about, this is a scripture about being greedy. How you always gonna be greedy. You think it's gonna be enough, it's never gonna be enough. Just like drug dealers. If you think like, hey, I'm gonna make enough money and get out, you're not. It's the same with the so-called white man. He think he gonna stop. He's just gonna oppress us for a little bit and stop. No, he's not. Because you're never gonna be satisfied.
No, he that loveth abundance will increase.
Right. No, nor he that love of abundance will increase. He's never gonna stop. You're never gonna stop wanting more. That is a facade.
This is also vanity.
It's useless. If you ever think you're gonna stop wanting more, you get you a car, you're gonna want a nicer car. You get you a house, you're gonna want a bigger house. It's never gonna stop. You go ahead.
Verse 11. When goods increase, they are increased to eat them.
Right. When goods increase, they are increased to eat them. You feel me? So you start getting more money, you're gonna start having more bills. That's why America keeps starving and keep doing black people the way they do it. Because they got more bills to pay. What the dude, what his name is, Cohen, the Jewish dude over the record label, he said, I gotta feed my family. So I'm gonna encourage black people to talk about killing each other, selling drugs, hoeing out their women. I'm gonna encourage it because I gotta feed my family.
And what good is there to the owners thereof? Saying that beholding of them with their eyes.
Right, and what's good in there to the owners thereof? It ain't no good. It's a rhetorical question. There ain't no good. It's only gonna get worse and worse the more you get more money into Christ's kingdom. So yeah, drop that last scripture. Let's go to Proverbs 11 and 20 and 21.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 20. They that are of a froward heart.
And that's crooked. That's what that means. Crooked. They are of a crooked heart.
Are abomination unto the Lord.
Abomination, something the Lord hates.
But such as are upright in their way are his delight.
But the people that ain't crooked is the ones that people love. ones the Lord love is the people that's not crooked.
Verse 21, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
Right. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. So what you got to understand, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Don't be an accessory to murder. Don't be an accessory to robbery. Don't be an accessory to slavery, because that's what happens. If you caught with the person that committed the crime, you get caught with the person that committed the crime, you're going to be an accessory to murder, to enslavement, to robbery. Somebody do a crime and you get caught with them, you going down with them. So all you people that say, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. What white people did is not that bad. You are an accessory to murder. And there's no statute of limitations on murder for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians out there that says white people not so bad. Well, you an accessory to murder. And don't get caught holding their hand when the Most High Christ comes back. Feel me? But that's the end of tonight's class. Feel me? Tune in every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, every other Sunday. Feel me? ISUPK, Kentucky. Yahweh Shem Shabbat Thumb, Yahweh Shema Thumb by Shem